Battle through the heavens, grand world. Chapter 166. The wicked will be tortured by the wicked. The young man spoke in an extremely relaxed tone. Then, without even looking at the angry middle-aged man, he walked towards Xiao Yan and said with a smile, "My name is Xiao Hao. I was ordered by the elder of Xiao City to bring you to Xiao City. Can we leave now?" Xiao Yan glanced at the middle-aged man who had a gloomy expression on his face and said to Xiao Hao with a smile, "Of course. Thank you for your trouble." After saying that, Xiao Yan swaggered away with Xiao Hao under the dumbfounded gazes of the people in the hall. The beautiful woman behind the middle-aged man glanced at Xiao Yan curiously, turned around, and was about to leave as well. Wait a moment. When the two passed by the middle-aged man, the latter suddenly let out a furious roar. After suppressing the anger in his chest, the middle-aged man turned around and forced a smile onto his face. He looked at Xiao Hao and said, "Young Master Xiao Hao, you saw it too. How did this Xiao Yan treat the Xiao clan's iron guards? He didn't put the Xiao clan in his eyes at all. I remember that the old ancestor had set a rule that anyone who offends the Xiao clan's authority will be punished. You won't forget that, right?" The young man smiled lightly when he heard this. He looked at the middle-aged man and said, "The Xiao City Lord is being too serious." The young man naturally wouldn't dare to forget the rules set by the old ancestor. However, the rules didn't say that the disciples of the family were not allowed to fight with each other. The middle-aged man raised his eyebrows after hearing this. He looked at Xiao Yan, who was standing beside Xiao Hao, and said with a frown, "Could he be a disciple of the Xiao clan? Impossible. I remember all the outstanding disciples of the families that are worthy of the attention of the elders of Xiao City. I have never seen him before." Before Xiao Hao could say anything, Xiao Yan had already opened his mouth. "Although my surname is Xiao, I am not a disciple of the Xiao clan. I am a disciple of the Xiao clan of Fighting Qi Continent." When they heard Xiao Yan's words, the young man and the girl beside him frowned slightly. They couldn't help but look at Xiao Yan. The latter's expression was indifferent, and he didn't look at the two of them. Fighting Qi Continent. The middle-aged man was startled when he heard this. After that, he furrowed his brows and looked at Xiao Yan. Could it be the continent where the Xiao clan sent their souls into 1,000,000 years ago? Didn't they say that the Xiao clan has declined? How could there be a new fighting monarch that can advance? After that, he let out a cold snort and looked at Xiao Hao with a smile. "Young Master Xiao Hao," he said. "You heard it too, right? This guy doesn't recognize him as a disciple of the Xiao clan in the Great World. However, it was also a good thing. The Xiao clan of the Great World. You can't just casually join the Xiao clan from the lower realm. Today, I will let you know the dignity of a super family. It's not something that any petty person can casually insult." Seeing that the middle-aged man was about to make a move, Xiao Hao frowned and raised his hand to speak in a deep voice. "Wait a moment, Xiao City Lord. No matter what, Xiao Yan was personally welcomed by the elders of Xiao City, my sister and I. We will talk about everything after the elders have met." Hearing the words elder of Xiao City, the middle-aged man gritted his teeth. He held back his desire to fight, then looked at Xiao Hao and said in a cold voice, "If that's the case, for the sake of young Master Xiao, let him go. After arriving at Xiao City, I hope that young master can honestly report this to the elders. If the elders want to punish this Xiao Yan for everything he did in our city, I hope you can hand it over to me. Otherwise, if the news of what happened here were to spread, not only would it damage the reputation of Yuanyi City, it would also harm the reputation of Yuanyi City. It will also bring disgrace to the Xiao clan." Xiao Hao nodded his head when he heard this. He glanced at Xiao Yan, then he and the girl beside him took the lead and left. Xiao Yan looked at the middle-aged man with a cold smile and followed him without hesitation. "Brat, if the elders hand you over to me, I will make you regret coming to Taiching Mansion." Just as the middle-aged man sent the three of them out with a gloomy face, Xiao Hao, who was walking in front, suddenly turned around and looked at the middle-aged man. He said with a smile that was not a smile, "By the way, Xiao City Lord, before I came here, the Great Elder told me that he wanted me to take a look at the management of Yuanyi City. Not bad, but take good care of your son. Don't do anything that will harm the reputation of Xiao clan. Or else, hee, many of the supreme elders in Xiao City are looking forward to their descendants taking your position." The young man chuckled and the three of them quickly left the place. "What? When he heard what Xiao Hao said just now, Xiao Wanqing instantly felt cold sweat trickling down his back. His gloomy expression turned incomparably ugly. He stared blankly at the disappearing figures of Xiao Yan and the other two. Immediately, he turned to Xiao Chong and said furiously, "Little bastard, to be honest, what did you do?" Xiao Chang's face turned incomparably pale when he heard what Xiao Hao said. When he heard Xiao Wanqing's angry question, he instantly panicked and opened his mouth, not knowing what to say. "Wang Chong, tell me." Xiao Wanqing glared at Xiao Chong with disappointment in his eyes. He suddenly looked at Wang Chong, who was standing not far away with a panicked expression on his face. He spoke in a deep voice. He knew the identity of Xiao Hao very well. The grandson of the great elder of Xiao City. In the entire generation of Xiao clan, except for Xiao Yi, who had gone to the Yunluo Academy to cultivate, Xiao Hao was the most important person in this generation. He was the young man with the strongest backing, the old patriarch of Xiao clan who had been in closed-door cultivation for a long time. Currently, the great elder of the Xiao clan held almost all the power in his hands. Even as the city lord, Xiao Wanqing didn't dare to offend Xiao Hao. Otherwise, his life would come to an end after hearing the great elder's words. It was precisely because of this that Xiao Wanqing was still brooding over Xiao Hao's hidden threat. The reason why he was able to become the city lord of Yuanyi City was because of the ancestor of his bloodline, Xiao Yuanyi, tens of thousands of years ago. In addition, in his generation, Xiao Wanqing's strength could be considered decent. That was why he was conferred the position of city lord. However, just like what Xiao Chong had said, the descendants of many elders in Xiao City had already grown. Some of the younger generations were no weaker than him. If the position of city lord was taken away, in 100 years' time, their bloodline would also face the situation of leaving the Taiching mansion. Upon hearing Xiao Wanqing calling him, Wang Chong's face instantly turned pale. He looked at Xiao Chong in panic, but the latter's face was also pale and didn't even look at him. Currently, the order of the Xiao clan's iron guards had been maintained by Xiao Wanqing. The wounded were carried out of the hall. The crowd who were watching the show were also evacuated. Some of the iron guards stood beside the transportation array, and organized the people to leave in an orderly manner. When Wang Chong saw this, he let out a bitter sigh in his heart. Just as he was about to speak, Xiao Chong suddenly turned his head to look at the former. When he saw a trace of killing intent flashing across Xiao Chang's eyes, Wang Chong's mouth immediately became filled with bitterness. A sense of powerlessness instantly emerged from the bottom of his heart. After a long time, his voice trembled as he told the whole story. Of course, it didn't involve Xiao Chong. Upon hearing Wang Chong's words, Xiao Wanqing was instantly enraged. He looked at the bustling crowds in the hall and held back his anger. He looked coldly at Wang Chong, then at Xiao Chong, who had unconsciously relaxed, and said in a cold voice, "You little bastard, you can't escape responsibility for this matter." The hairs on Xiao Chang's body instantly stood up when he heard what Wang Chong said. He stammered for a moment, not knowing what to say. "Wang Chong, as the captain of the Iron Guards, you actually did such a thing. Are you trying to tarnish the reputation of the Xiao clan? You have worked under me for so many years. You should know what I am capable of." Looking at Wang Chong's pale face, Xiao Wanqing harumphed coldly, then looked at Xiao Chong and said, "And you? From now on, you are not allowed to take another step into this place. If I am removed from my position as an elder of Xiao City, all of you won't be any better." He threw down a sentence angrily. Xiao Wanqing was burning with rage in his heart. With a flick of his sleeve, he turned around and left the hall. Xiao Chang's legs went limp when he saw Xiao Wanqing leave, and he almost fell to the ground. He glanced at Wang Chong with a guilty expression before hastily leaving the hall. Wang Chong's face turned deathly pale and his legs trembled. Ignoring the gazes of the others, he sat down on the ground. His heart was filled with bitterness and regret. But he also knew that being beaten half to death was already the best outcome. If he had told Xiao Chong about it, Xiao Wanqing would have punished him in order to protect his son. He would have even asked him to die. Xiao Yan and the others naturally didn't know what was going on in the main hall, so they followed Xiao Hao. Xiao Ling and her sister came to an open area and saw Xiao Yan's puzzled expression. Xiao Hao smiled gently and took out a black bead that was engraved with strange patterns. He said, "There is a powerful formation in Xiao City. Ordinary transportation array can only be transported 1,000 miles away from Shao City. This teleportation bead. It was specially created by a formation master of Shao clan. It was compatible with the formation in the city. With this, we can reach the Shao City directly. Chapter end. Hi guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.